Welcome everybody to another very, very exciting episode of Wine Down with Kev. This episode is sponsored by my partners at B-File Systems. Click on the link in the bio. Definitely support them. They will change your agency and how you interact with your clients digitally. Let me start, as always, with an attitude of gratitude. Thank you, all of you that are tuned in, watching us on live stream, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Thank you. Special thanks, especially to all of you. Woohoo! You have already hit the subscribe and the notification button, and trust and believe you're going to want to know when incredible, dope content like this comes out. So do it right away. Don't delay. Hit that subscribe and notifications button. All right. Enough of an introduction. Let me tell you that I am amped about my guest today. Same first name sake, Kevin. Same but different Monica in this AI space. And we're going to talk about it. But he is Kev the AI guy. Y'all see my hats. I identify as Kev AI. And at the end of this podcast, you will see why he is the guy. So with that being said, let's bring Kev up. Wind Down with Kev audience. Show some love to Kevin, the AI guy, Smith. Show some love in the comments.
Thank you. Pleasure having me here. I'm so glad to be on here with you, man. It's been I watched your first episode actually just the other weekend. I'm super excited that I was invited to be on here.
Well, thank you, man. We are both a part of the AI Innovations family. Shout out to Alicia Little, the queen of AI.
Yes.
So just to get it warmed up, everybody's journey into AI is different. What was your aha moment when you realized that this is bigger than just, another piece of tech?
Yeah, so I really just started with AI about a year ago now. So the reason why I know that is because like on Instagram, Facebook, they have the this is what happened in the past year on this day. And I saw the first like AI related video I posted was actually Alicia. She was talking on I think on Neo's podcast, and I took a clip of that and I posted it, and I realized, oh yeah, that's when I first really started getting into AI. So how I got there was really I know Nehemiah Davis. I've been part of his programs for a while. I used to own 2 event spaces that I learned from his marketing program. So after the event space, we did that for about 3 years. But I started hearing some things about AI in the background, and then Neo came out with a mastermind that had him, Alicia Little, and Marcus Rogier. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna spend my last money and get into that program because I know everything that Neil does is good. I hadn't heard anything about Alicia at all, actually, and I just recently heard about Marcus Rogier about speaking. I was like, I want to learn to do that, right? So she was just kind of like an extra bonus. Now, part of that program, there was supposed to be like a cohort of people, like supposed to be like 10 people in there. So we had one of the one-on-one meetings with Alicia. Well, it wasn't a one-on-one. We had a meeting with Alicia. I get in there, I'm the only person in the room, so I'm just sitting there for like 5 minutes. Alicia comes in, it's like, Kev, you're the only one in here? And I was like, yeah, I guess so. So she's like, all right, give me 1 second. Went out, came back. She's like, well, I guess it's just you and me. You're going to have a one-on-one with me today. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, and at this point, I still didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I didn't really understand the power behind it. Now, looking back, I'm like, that was a $3,000-$4,000 one-on-one meeting that I got to have with the queen of AI, right? And I got to have it a couple different times because I was the only one in that cohort. So, she talked to me a little bit about AI. I explained to her that I was thinking about having a virtual assistant business, and she was like, well, how are we going to implement AI into that? So I'm sitting there like, oh, that's a good question. I didn't really think about it like that. So we talked a little bit about AI. She showed me just a couple of different things and told me to do a little bit of homework. And I said, all right, let's go in. So one thing about me is that I'm always going to execute, and I think that's
Okay.
one thing that really showed her that I was serious about this. So she asked me to do a little bit of homework, do some research, and get a business plan together. The next week when we met, I had my full business plan ready to go. Showed her, talked to her about it, and she's like, "Okay, I can see you're serious about this." But while doing that research, I really started seeing the power behind AI and how that can actually do a lot of things I was trying to do with a virtual assistant with AI. So I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." So then I, had my business plan and I went to present it and kind of do like just talk about it a little bit. So she was like, "Hey, can you come onto my learning channel?" It's like
Nice.
a YouTube channel that I have that has, a couple hundred people on there and to be able to talk to them. And I just jumped at the opportunity and I said, "Yeah." I had no idea
So
what
hold
else.
on. Let me use one of my timeouts, Kev. You went from one on to
Mhm.
having a chance to teach on the channel. So
Yes.
hold that pause right here. We're gonna rock and roll. Audience, stay with me. So 1 year in the game, this is how quick AI can change your life. We're gonna come back to that point. I'm gonna put a pin in it right there. But tell me this: what did your world look like before AI? And big shout out to Neo Davis. Big shout out to Marcus. You got a chance to rock and roll with a powerful community. But tell me what your world look like. I saw something in your Facebook bio about Verizon or something like that. But tell me what your life looked like because I want to reach the person that's where you were a year ago,
Yeah.
thinking about making a power move, but they're in that job and they're not sure what to do with AI.
Yeah, man. So I was working for Verizon for almost 10 years. That's really my first real job after I came out of college, and I didn't even finish college, right? So I know I don't really talk about this too much, but there is one guy I was listening to the other day talking about how he's a two-time college dropout. I'm technically a three-time college dropout, right? So I went to regular school, didn't cut it after 3 years, then went to community college, dropped out of there, try to do online college. It just didn't work out. It just wasn't for me. But throughout that time, I joined with Verizon Wireless. Started off from the very bottom as a sales rep. Worked my way up because I was always pretty good at sales. I caught on quick, so I became one of the top salespeople there. Then became one of the youngest supervisors and fastest getting to that position in my call center. Again, top 10% there as well. After doing that, though, I did that for about 5, 6, actually 7 years as a supervisor. And it just kind of lost its edge. After you're being in corporate for a little bit and, that initial excitement's
Mhm.
always there. But when things change, people leave, new people come in, you have your opinion of how things should run, I guess. It just kind of changes that whole mentality. So it came to a point where I really wasn't that happy there. So I was like, I have a goal to be out of this job by the end of this year. I said that in the beginning of last year. I said I need to find a way out of here.
So
I didn't
you
know
is
how,
it fair
but I
to say
was.
that you AI'd your way out of there?
Definitely was. Definitely fair to say that. After I started learning about AI and particularly AI agents, I started implementing it inside my job. So they had something called Gemini, right? And
I
they have
know Jim.
access
Yeah.
to it because we have Google in there. And I was just looking one day, I was trying to see because I was big on AI. I was like, can I get to ChatGPT? Now they have it blocked, they had everything locked down. But I knew like, hey, they have the Google workspace, they probably have Gemini. So I looked in, got access to Gemini, and we're like, oh, we have full access to Gemini. All right, I don't think they understand what they have here. So I'm gonna
Wow.
go around here and see what I can do. And I basically made a bunch of Gemini gems, it's called, right? And I was able to have them pretty much do my job for me, where I would just upload I can say this now, I'm so glad since I'm no longer with them, but I was just taking the transcripts that they gave us, putting inside of Gemini, and it was able to go ahead and give me the entire breakdown of exactly how the type out was supposed to be, copy paste that right into my report and send it over. So it
So
was
so
able
Kev, I'm
to
gonna use
do
one of
that
my
for
timeouts
me.
again. You and audience, entrepreneur, one of my favorite words. I am not the guy that say walk away from your W-2. Everybody should be self-employed. It's nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned job where somebody is paying you to learn. So Kev, I think that's a power move. And I use the word entrepreneur because you became an entrepreneur inside of the job using tech. So those of you that are where Kev was a year ago, you're thinking about it, become an entrepreneur first. Use that tool on the company's time, on your Not my staff. Y'all don't do that. Y'all know what y'all got to do in the agency today. Don't do that to me. But if it's helping, we'll take it. And you start talking about Gemini. I just jumped on Gems 2 weeks. I'm 2 weeks into using Gems. I'll be teaching this week. And so, man, I think everybody sees, feels your energy. W2, rock and roll, entrepreneur, Gemini to Gems, Jules, literally the name. Chat
Mhm.
heads, Chat GPT only, same as a custom GPT. It does what you teach it.
Exactly.
Kev, you take the next move. Employee, W2, entrepreneur, still getting your check, but helping the company, but you're learning, you're investing in Kev. And I love the
Mhm.
fact that you said you're in Neo's community and you took your last to invest in AI.
Yeah.
What did you see that said, this is the power move? I know if I go all in, if I invest this money, we're not talking no dollars here, we're just having a conversation that I see a business opportunity, I'm going to get it back. What did you see? What was the aha moment that you said, this is not just a thing? I can eat here, I can live here, I can live indoors here doing this.
Really just exposing myself to all the possibilities with AI. This was all before I even became an AI consultant with Alicia's program, right? So I think I became in her program like October, the very beginning of October. So prior to this, I'm teaching myself, learning everything I can, watching YouTube videos, anything with Alicia on it. I was watching it on YouTube to learn her Tada framework, learning all the tools that she was giving away for free. As soon as she said the tool, I'm right there looking at it, trying to figure it out. And when she gave me the opportunity to speak on her platform, again, even before I was a consultant, so I'm so blessed that she trusted me to even do that. But when I did do that, the amount of like love that was coming from the chat, the people saying, "Oh my gosh, it's so amazing." When I go on YouTube, it's one of the top rated videos on her platform, and I was like, "Okay, so this is something that apparently I'm pretty good at talking about. People are enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Most importantly, right? Because like I
Yes.
said." With the corporate job, I wasn't really enjoying myself anymore. I like sales, I like talking to people, but that it was just draining me, like really, really draining me. So when I found that love for AI and I was able to use AI in my job and then replace pretty much my whole week's worth of work down to about half a day, and I can spend the rest of the time doing and learning AI the way I want to start building and start sharing and doing content creation, it allowed me to realize like I could really go in and do this. And I think that changed to when I was like, all right, it's time for me to leave was when I got a new team. I had a decent team before that allowed me to do that, but my new team, it was much more heavy. And my new boss, he was, he was been there the longest, the most tenured guy. He was like the top 1%. He told me, he's like, hey, I need you to be on top of everything. So all that extra time, even though I had the free time, it was like call me every hour talking about what I need to do, what am I doing, what am I doing. And then my team being a very more a newer, not as tenured team themselves would call me 20, 30, 40 times a day. And I just didn't have the time anymore, regardless of what I did. I had to put so much energy in them. And it came to the point where it was like either I stopped doing the AI thing to focus on this team 100% in order to get to where I need to be, or I focus on AI 100% and forget my job. So I had to make that hard choice a month later in November. I had to sit there one day and I was just like, listen, I got to choose what's best for me. And even though I had many people told my ear, my dad was saying, don't quit, don't quit, don't quit. I had to do what I had to do and leave that job and go all in on AI. So, and I'm glad I did because it really put me into a situation where I can do what makes me happy, and I can really, I think, um, I can have more impact on more people as well by doing what I'm doing.
I love it. You still live indoors? You eating a couple of times a day?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Now I
Uh,
am. Before when I first left, I'm gonna be honest, it was hard the first couple months, very
uh-huh,
hard. But
uh-huh.
now we're getting into it where it's like, all right, now we can take a deep breath. We got things happening. We're making moves. It's all good, and I'm glad it happened.
Kev, I love it, man. Um, Kev, normally on my podcast, it's a whole lot of talking, a whole lot of walking, but my audience, especially me, both y'all that's out there watching, let's do some show and tell. Let's show the people what you're working with. I can ask you about what I've seen. So let me start here. I can't believe that you just got certified in October and November, that time frame. I
Mhm.
remember your arrival to our Facebook community, and immediately you came in like the best ball player in the park. It's like, Kev AI, we got that guy. My first connection to you is when I saw your name. I'm like, Kev, the AI guy. I think I DM'd you right away. I said, that's dope.
Yeah,
I have a couple of hats with Kev AI on it, but y'all are going to see why I have no problem with my AI brother using this name and the beautiful background he had back there because he's like that. So, Kev, you are using some of my favorite tools right now. Let's introduce the people to Claude first, and then let's talk about agents. So let's take it from there. Talk about Claude, and then let's talk about what you're doing with agents. I'm an insurance agent in the business for decades. We're in a lot of conversations about agents are coming in agentic AI. Can you show and tell for my industry? Because I think it applies, I'm confident it applies to every industry, what we could and should be doing with Claude agents.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, we do have Claude here. Let me go ahead and share that part of the screen here. Pull that up. Let me first reshare because it's showing my website, but I want to show you guys actually Claude code. So let me try one thing. If we can we unshare? Then let me try to reshare this the right part of the screen.
Perfect, perfect. You can, I think you're driving. Yep, unshare it.
Okay, there we go. Okay,
Claude Code, people, mark this
let's go.
video. This is something you need to hear
There we
about.
go.
Claude Code, pay attention.
Yes, yes. So there we are. All right. Perfect, perfect. So what I have here is Claude. Well, it's actually VS Code. It's basically the base in order to get into Claude Code. And then how I get into is I press this button here, and Claude Code is right here. Now, I'm gonna take a step back here. I'm gonna talk about the different ways to utilize Claude. And what I'm gonna do actually, just to make things easier, I'm gonna unshare one more time and reshare just so I can share my full screen because I'm gonna jump back and forth between these two because that is going to show us the real power of what Claude is. All right. So what I'm going to go ahead and do real quick is show you guys Claude to begin with. You probably see it has it. Well, there's no back and forth, right? But what I'll show you guys is Claude, right? Have you heard about? You said you heard about Claude recently, Kev.
Yeah, I've been on Claude. I've heard about it, but I've been using it daily for about 2 months now.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So with Claude here, you got a couple of different options, right? We have Claude Chat, and with Claude Chat, you're able to go ahead and basically talk to the AI, and it's called the LLM, large language model. But this is what most people play around with. It's very similar to ChatGPT. It's very similar to Gemini, right? And you're able to ask it questions, and then it's able to do amazing research, is able to give you amazing information, and now it's really starting to be able to do the actual work for you. So like I was saying, with my job I was using Gemini in order to give it work, and then come back and it's able to go ahead and really um, fill out, analyze different reports, analyze anything I gave it to, and then spit back exactly what I needed to do. So Claude works in a very similar way where I can write different things, I could have it teach me different things, I can do research. So really, really powerful tool, right? The second thing here is Claude Cowork, right? And I'm doing this inside of the Claude app here. In the Claude app, you get Claude Cowork, which allows you to actually do things. So if Claude allows you to research things, Claude Cowork allows you to actually do things. And what this does is allow me to, it can go into your computer, go into your files. Let's say you have a bunch of receipts that you need organized. You can tell Claude right here, hey, can you go into this file? It's called file ABC. Do me a favor and take all of these receipts. I need it structured into an Excel spreadsheet so I know exactly where my numbers at for the month. And it will go ahead and do that for you just pretty much instantly, which is pretty amazing. So that's the second branch of Claude, Claude Cowork. What I love the most is going to be Claude Code, and Claude Code that's going to allow you to build things. So again, Claude allows you to do research and you talk to it, go back and forth. Claude Cowork will do things for you. Claude Cowork will do things for you, and Claude Code will build things for you. And this is what I use to build those agents. This is what I use to build apps and websites and really have fun with Claude. Um, that's where right now is where the most power behind all of this is from. So I can go ahead and build websites, apps, landing pages, anything I need really with Claude Code. So that's where we're at right now. And typically, I don't use it inside of the app itself, just easy to show it. I use it in something called VS Code,
Yes.
which is just a browser. It's like a basically like your internet file browser. It allows you to get access to the terminal. And all that fancy thing is just saying that it's localized on my computer and I'm able to build whatever I need to do, build with it.
I love it. And since it's in your computer, you have the guardrails. So, man, I love that background, what you shared about Claude. There's a lot of power. Talk to me about you had a lot of people excited. You were on the business summit the last week. What are some industries that people are excited that they're using? You know, you're a new business, you're just starting in business, you're leaving a corporation where somebody else paid the employees. You were thinking about a virtual agency. So you were already thinking about affordable people to replace some solutions in the workplace. Now that you have Claude, and trust me, everybody, I am for humans in the loop. I want all people to learn this so we can keep working and driving the tool. What are some of the immediate business use cases that you're seeing where that bookkeeper that can do that stuff? What are some of the immediate use cases that people with small businesses, work from home business are getting excited? Like, I couldn't do this before, but now that you showed me this Claude agent, now I can do this and it's not costing me new money.
Yeah, man. So it really could allow you to do almost anything you can think of that you would hand off to an employee to do, especially if you have like a virtual assistant and you need them to do it virtually. Anything that they can do, pretty much AI is now capable of doing, and you can just direct it. So that's how you kind of got to think of it. You are the director. Claude Code, that's going to be the doer. That's going to build what you can't, right? I'm not a coder. I When I even went to school, I took one coding class, C++. I don't think they use that anymore, and I failed it the first time. But now I'm able to build our entire apps, websites utilizing this code, but I'm speaking to it in natural language. So I don't need to know all that background code, all those the Python scripts, JSON. I don't need to know all that. I just need to know how to talk to AI, and I allow the AI to build it out for me. And because of that, for instance, like the entire suite of whatever you need as a new business owner, let's say you're in the insurance game, right? And you want to go ahead and start brand new. First, you can use this AI tool to do intensive research. You can tell it, hey, go ahead and do some research for me on the different, what's working for different insurance brokers in my area inside of my niche. So you can have a list of everything that's working, right? And then let's say you want to talk about, hey, is there any areas that they're missing what I can bring to the table utilizing AI. AI can go ahead and analyze all the information and tell you this is where you need to be. And when it comes to insurance, maybe focus in a specific niche that is underrepresented, but a lot of people need. So that's going to give you an automatic leg up right there. And it takes about 5 minutes to figure that out. Once you have that there, you can utilize Claude Code to then, all right, I now need to get some presence online, right? Build me a website that is going to go ahead and be able to show that I am an actual insurance broker, have all my information on there, and then be able to go ahead and put out a form on there so people can reach back out to me instantly. You could then utilize AI to have a AI receptionist. So when people do reach out, maybe call you, text you, you have AI being able to respond back so that you never miss a lead, right? Speed to lead is a huge thing. And
Everything.
with AI, you are the fastest speed to lead. Imagine you're online, you're typing up, put in your information, press enter. 1 minute later, you're getting called saying, hey, this is Kev's AI receptionist. I see that you're interested in insurance. Let me just ask you a couple qualifying questions and then book you on his schedule. Ask the qualifying questions, and then books you on your schedule, all without you having to do anything. You didn't do anything yet at all. But now you have
I'm
that
watching the
one-on-one
game
book.
because that's what I do.
Exactly.
While the agent, I'm gonna cut you off because I'm saving some of the sauce. The riches are in the niches. Y'all gonna press pause and rewind on this. Kev, take me to one more place. Let's show and tell and talk about Manus. Kev,
Mhm.
were you down in Atlanta at the summit a couple of months ago? Maybe February.
I missed that one. I went to the previous one, but I did miss
Okay.
that last one in Atlanta.
Okay, that was my first time seeing Manus. Um, it's on my Kev Got Next list that I got to work on. But you're on it, you're using it, you're teaching it. Let's play peekaboo with my audience with Manus. Show them something about Manus. Tell me some use cases as to how you're using it or other businesses might use Manus.
Yeah, man, this is super powerful. It's similar to Cloud Code where you can utilize it as the agents itself, but you can do so much more with it. And I'll show you real quick on my screen. This is what Manus looks like. What's funny is that all these chat and AI windows look very similar, but they are at definitely certain levels of power. And this is a step beyond your normal Claude, your normal Gemini, your normal Chat GPT, because again, you can build things with Manus, and it makes it super easy to where you're able to go ahead and just hop right in without any like fancy setup, and then start building whatever you need. So, for instance, if you wanted, even give some options here, you could create slides, build websites, develop desktop apps. And one thing I like to do is kind of get a head start on things, right? So if I want to go ahead and build a website, but I don't want to go ahead and maybe like have to design it for myself, I would just take an existing website, give it to the AI and say, hey, copy this website, but just put my information in it and make it look amazing. Right. And if you want, we could go ahead and try that right
Yeah,
now.
let's do it. That was
Okay.
my burning question. How long? Let's see it work. Let's see it work.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. So I have this one website here called Awards, right? And basically, it's just a congregate of many different real websites that they have. They just showing off as, oh, these are the best designed awards. Because again, I'm not a developer. I'm not a website designer, but there's a lot of websites out there that have um, all these different websites already built out for you. So if I did want to take a look at some examples of some really nice websites, I go to something like Awards. There's something called Godly.websites. There's a couple of these websites out there, but I'm gonna just take a look real quick, and maybe I'm looking and I see a website that I really do like here, and it looks like, hey, this is gonna be perfect for what I need it to look like, right? Let's take a look at this one right here. Okay, smoke.
Okay.
It's called Smokeify. All right, it's got some nice things here. I'm doing a little different one. Let's see, make it a little more fancy, so you can really see how similar that these websites can make it look like, right? So, in this one here, called Evolve. All right, this one is a little bit more unique, right? It's got the different elements in here, the service. All right, sounds good. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to basically go to this website and I'm going to copy the website. So
Okay.
if I go to this website right here, this is it. I like how it looks. I have a what's it called? An extension called Go Full Page.
Okay.
Lisa has talked about this a lot, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just use that to take a entire snapshot of the page right here. All right. Once I do that, I'm gonna go to Manus. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it into Manus. I could add from local files there. It should be now just in my local files here. I believe this is it. Oh, that's not it. Let me try to find it real quick and downloads.
Take your time. I'm blown away already. Take your time.
Oh, you know what I gotta do? I gotta actually download it. So after you do a screenshot, just go ahead and hit download image. Perfect. Now go back into Manus, and now it should pop up there for me to download. Here we go. And I'm going to go ahead and tell Manus right here. I'm allow here. I got a new computer, so it's got all the new
Take your time. I'm
allows.
good with you. I'm good with it. I like that you're going through the process because when someone uses it for the first time, they're going to have the same journey. We work through a lot of things that are not perfect. So keep doing your work. I love it.
That's a great point. That's a great point. So I'm gonna go ahead and say voice output. Hey Manus, I am looking to create a website, and I just gave you a screenshot of what I want the website to look like. I want you to basically recreate it with my information, and you can find my information in my website, which I'll give to you at the bottom here. But I need you to take a look at this website, recreate it with my information, and keep going back and forth. Take a snapshot of this and compare it to the original website until you got it at least 95% of the way, and then show me
Percent
the
there as well.
results. Right. And again, I'm telling it to just take a look at what I gave it, recreate it, and put my information in it. So my website is kevinsmith.ai, right?
I
And
love
I'm
it.
gonna go ahead and shoot that off. Now, just from that prompt right there, it should know exactly what to do, and it's going to start thinking. It's going to initialize this computer, right? It's going to start downloading maybe some different scripts in order to get the job done that it needs to do it, and it's just going to start working for me. And think about how long it would normally take in order to build out a website. You can
I
either
can't put a timeline on it, Kev, because I can't do it. And you're doing it in minutes. And you said that you failed one class. That's my tech background. Way back when Jesus was still a carpenter, I took an intro to Apple class. I didn't fail it, but let's say I took some shortcuts to pass it. All this coding is happening, and you shared honestly that your multiple time college wasn't for you. You don't have a background in coding, but because you asked the right prompt, this is being built for you right in front of our eyes in minutes. And anybody watching it in the comments, how much would this cost you if you had to outsource this to somebody? Now, I have paid people to build websites for me, and trust and believe they did not do it inside of 10 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes while we're on a call talking about it. That did not happen.
Yep, exactly. And it costs a good amount of money to do that, right? All you need now is a subscription that is worth $20 to $40, and you can build out whatever you need. And you can see it is going to work right now. It's getting the images, it's taking a look at the website, is gathering the information here, right? So it is really building it out. And I use my other account, the one that's not the max, or I have the max version as
Okay.
well, and I'm gonna do it on the off screen here just in case it does run out of credits. But with Manus here, if you have the free version, which this is the free version, you'll be able to get a lot of things done. And you can even get free 500 credits. But what you can do is upgrade to one of the higher tiered options here, and it's going to really give you the full power of Manus with Manus 1.6 Max. But you see it working here, which is amazing, right? It just generated using AI all of these images to use on the website,
I
right?
love
It's
it.
creating update the theme, right? Adding fonts, right? So it's doing all the work for me in order to go ahead and to do this layout. And you can see it working.
I
Pretty
love it.
amazing.
Kev, I think you have already just provided proof of concept. The final product will speak for itself. So, Kev, I know that we've come on, we've talked about Claude, we've talked about Manus, we've talked about Gemini. Let's talk about you. Again, you showed up at the park a few months. I was already there, Kev. I'm sitting at the park with my AI certification. I think I got certified in July. I'm waiting around to pick to see if I can play next. But you've shown up and become a dominant player because you've added so much value to the community by helping people with really niche things the next level. One of the things that you said earlier, and I said I was going to come back to my timeouts. Um, you did your business plan within a week. Was that your first time writing a business plan?
It wasn't my first time. I actually did it before. The difference was that it took me a lot longer to write the first couple business plans for my business. Like when I did it for my event space business, I also did some kind of car share business, right? I've done a lot of different businesses in the past while working at the same time. But the ease of being able to really start up doing this was next level. And that's where I saw the difference in why AI is really going to take over, because I could spend weeks, even months working on a business plan, or I could do it in one afternoon. And it's going to be just as good, if not better, because I'm utilizing AI to find what's working and the best tactics and be able to do it for me.
I love Kev. Give a shout out to Neo Davis. Uh, talk about Neo. I had the pleasure. I've been following Neo for about 4 years online.
Mhm.
Pleasure meeting him for the first time in person in Atlanta just 2 months ago, I believe. One thing I love about this conversation with you, you have a mindset that you believe in investing yourself, not just investing money in yourself, but you're also investing time in yourself. Talk to me about how you got connected to Neo and how masterminding with him has helped you to have this next step mindset.
Man, definitely shout out to Neil. He's definitely the first entrepreneur, I would say. Besides my parents, they did their own entrepreneur things that taught me a lot. But what Neo has done was kind of next level, and just always he's always there for me when I need something, right? So if I when I first started the um event space program 5 years ago, and I was like, hey, I saw him on YouTube, and I was like, I need to get this guy's program because he knows what he's talking about. After I heard him speak, I got the program. I was very involved in that community there. But again, built out two different event space studios, and he would randomly hit me up and say, hey, good job, man. I see what you're doing. Keep it up. And then even after that, he would invite me to his he had his mansion parties every once in a while to say, hey, Kev, you're invited. And I'm like, why? I mean, you know, like I know you want to hit you up, but to me, you're still, you're my mentor. But he would be like, man, I see you executing, and that's the one thing I like, right? Success loves speed. And I think that's
Yes.
one thing that again got me in front of Neo, that got me in front of Alicia. And they saw something in me that was like, hey, a lot of people, they just take the information and don't do anything with it. Even like all these courses, right? It was a shock to me that I learned that people apparently don't really finish these courses that they buy. Because I'm the type, as soon as I buy a course, I'm running through that entire course in 1 or 2 days, and I'm learning every information, then I'm implementing it. Apparently, that's not the case with most people, and it's still a shock to me that you don't do that, because that's where all the information is. That's the people who have done it already are giving us the blueprint, so you don't have to learn it yourself, right? That's
So
the cheat code right there. So I'm always in like, hey, how much can I learn, and how fast can I learn this information? And people like Neo, who's just constantly giving free game out. And that's one thing he told me too. He was like, Kev, when you're doing these like webinars, like I do webinar every single week, right? He's like, give out as much free game as possible, because people aren't doing that. If you stand down and give as much free game as you can, it's going to show that you're the expert, and it's going to show that, hey, what about your paid stuff? This is all for free. What about your paid? And that's the same mentality I took. So anytime I have information to share, anytime I can give out free information, I will, because AI is such a new category, but it's so huge where everybody can eat with AI. Everybody. I'm not going to be the one person that's going to be up
no,
here making all the money and trying to keep it all. I get so much people coming at me and saying, hey, I need this, this, and this, that I have to turn people away all the time. And
that's
it's
a
a
good
great
thing. Was
place to be. Yeah.
thank you for saying thank you for saying yes to me. Let's talk about community, right? This is what binds us. This is why we're here today. Um, so first, I'm gonna reinforce your journey. Your journey did not start with you reaching deep in your pocket. Your journey, mastermind, free YouTube University.
Hmm.
Kev, there's so many free materials, free things out there. So if you don't have the money, but you do have the time, invest the time. Get on the bandwagon. So I definitely want to say that again, reinforcing your shout out to Neo, shout out to Alicia. This is a godsend that you wind up in this space, and your journey is going to speak to many, many others. Kev, backslash future. Tell my people here how they can get in touch with you now, and tell me what Kev, the AI guy, looks like 6 months from now, a year from now.
Well, you can get at me at my website, kevinsmith.ai, and pretty much everywhere on social media, Kev the AI guy. Instagram is Kev underscore the AI guy, but everywhere else is Kev the AI guy. My website, kevinsmith.ai. And real quick, I just want to show you guys, since I had the website, it came up as soon as we like
Perfect.
stopped sharing. I just wanted
Perfect.
to show the website here that it looks so good. I might switch my new website to this website, right? Um, so this is the website
Oh
here.
my goodness.
Reminder that it took this website, right?
Right.
And basically it took my color scheme from that and then created this website here. I can preview it real quick, make it a little bit bigger, right?
That's
So this is the
fire.
website it created. And this was
That's
off just
fire.
one tiny little prompt. I can do so much to this. I could add different elements to it, but you can see that it looked like a professional website and only took what about 5 minutes of building out by
Five
itself
to
to get
10
there.
minutes top.
Crazy.
Even if it took a second in AI world, everyone that stayed with us, and they will, you will see a finished product here. There is nothing to compare this to. There's no shopping online. There's no yellow pages, no Google. There's nothing to compare this to in terms of what you did. It's brand new. So for all of my new entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs out there, This is why it matters. You don't have to debate all day, every day. I coulda, woulda, shoulda. If this, then that. No, it's done. Kev showed us how quickly and how efficiently it's done. So, Kev, now that you've given them the powerful why, give them the how. How can they get in touch with you first? And tell me what's next for
Yeah,
Kev, the AI
definitely
guy.
reach out to me. I have a whole bunch of social media, like I said, Kev the AI guy. You can also join my weekly seminars, my weekly they're basically masterminds, because we spend an hour and a half to 2 hours focused on one AI tool at a time. The past 2 weeks, we've actually been talking about Claude Code. I had to do my first part one and part two, maybe a part three coming up next week. I don't know yet, but of Claude Code, because of how powerful it is and how much I wanted to show everybody. So we've talked about 11 Labs, we talked about Google Gemini, Sunu that does the music, right? So every week I do a tool and go deep into it, show you the settings, show you what you can do with it, and then we talk about ways to make money off it, because that's where I think everybody really wants to get to, right? You don't want to just play around with these tools. Playing around is nice and fun, but when you're able to monetize off it, that's what you want to end up doing.
The
Um,
the the end
yeah.
game is income. I'm doing AI to advance income for my church this Saturday and next Saturday. So I'm always talking about the money. Let's talk about the funny for a second. What have you dropped on Suno? Have you released something? Have you recorded yourself? Video, music? What have you dropped?
I've done a lot of fun stuff for sure. That's where you first learn how to do this stuff, right? So one of my friends, he is starting a restaurant business, well, a food truck really. And what I did for him was I made an entire basically mixtape of songs about the food that he's doing. So I'm like, instead of just playing random old music, you're gonna play this mixtape of all the songs, and they're all customized to your brand. They're gonna talk about you. They're gonna talk about the food. I have reggae in there, hip hop. I have country music, and in that mixtape, it's just going to, I feel like, attract people, because you're walking in the park and you hear a song that's really catchy, and you listen to the words for a second, you realize it's about a food you never heard about it before, and it's about this amazing sounding food. It's going to attract everybody there, and it's going to keep them around, have the vibes, right? So that's one thing I like to do. I like to create videos, just all types of videos, either me with my AI twin talking about AI news.
Yeah.
I made a selfie video that actually went viral, where it's me and historical figures like Harriet Tubman,
Yes.
Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., and I'm just walking up to them, taking a selfie with them, and smiling, and then moving on to another room. And it was one of the videos. That's actually the video that first really pushed my social media into the thousands of followers because of that, because I got hundreds and thousands of views off that one video.
That's how you bogarted the consulting group. You came in, either the historical figures
Mhm.
or the rappers, that you walked up to everybody
Mhm.
and you just walking through the room. And the images, the fun part, it gets attention, right?
Yeah,
All
definitely.
businesses need attention first. If you don't know me, if you can't find me, you can't spend money with me.
Mhm.
So that's the power of those videos. And correct me if I'm wrong, it shows up in my timeline where people are making songs for their significant other, and they listen to the song, and all of a sudden they realize that I'm saying Denise, I'm saying my wife's name. It's
Mhm.
pseudo's the tool you're using for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the number one tool right now for music creation. They just added you could actually do your own voice in it as well, which is pretty cool. Before you had to like make up your own voice to try to find something close, but now you can record your voice, and then your voice can be the one singing the song about your other, and I think that adds a really nice touch to it as well.
Kev, I'm always using AI to become the best version of me. Today, there's no version of me that's a singer or a rapper, but trust and believe we'll play with Suno week in and week out. Um, Kev, we have just a few minutes to land. I know you have a commitment. I have a commitment. What would you like to share with the people that I didn't ask you about? What would you like to share that I didn't ask you about?
I think the number one thing that really is leading to my rapid growth in AI, is just doing things scared, right? When I first, Alicia said to go onto the learning tube, it would have been easy for me to say, "Oh no, I'm not ready." Inside, that's what I felt like, but I said, "Hey, this is an amazing opportunity that I may not ever get again." And me saying yes, scared, and figuring it out is what has kind of kept me moving forward in this. So I say yes as much as I can until I literally can't say yes anymore. So now, like I said, I get too many things coming at me where I can start saying no's. But in the very beginning, you say yes to everything, and then you just try to figure it out, and don't be afraid of failure. Right. Even though I might not be as seasoned as a lot of people in the even consultant group, right? I still have experienced so much because I keep saying yes and I keep failing. I failed probably more times than most people in there with different types of businesses, and then just life have gone. Like I said, I'm a 3-time college dropout, and I could go through a whole list of things that I failed at before I finally was able to put everything together the right way and make a real business out of what I'm doing now. So do it scared, and then just keep on learning from those mistakes and just don't give up.
I love it. I love it. Got two things that you said, heartstring pull. Earlier, you said that your parents, your dad, I believe, said, don't quit the good job, Verizon, good company. We all know it. Salary, benefits, maybe a little commission, maybe a little bonus. But then later, you said your parents were entrepreneurs.
Yep.
So they moved in faith. What was the nature of their business? But how did they not know that you had it in you that one day, after all the trials and tribulations, that you were going to find your own thing? And what do they think now?
I think they always did know I have it in me. See, they just were worried because again, like I said, I wasn't in the best of financial situations. Like just save up the money, but I don't think he understood that I couldn't save up that money with the job I was in right now.
Mhm.
No matter what I did, it wasn't going to work out by staying with that job. So I think my parents are extremely supportive in pretty much anything I do. But he was one thing he was adamant about was don't quit that job. I remember I was literally in tears one time, crying, calling him, was like, I can't do this. He's like, don't quit that job.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it anymore. And I'm a person like I had two event spaces while doing the job at the same time, running back and forth up literally all night, setting up the event space, right? While then going to my job, have my laptop out talking, right? So it wasn't a capability thing. It was just the fact that I was too mentally drained to do both of them at the same time, especially with this new position. So even though they did have it, they've always gave me the opportunities in life. I'm blessed enough to where like my dad, he had a tutoring business, so he used to work on Wall Street basically, and then during the 2008 crisis he lost it all, right? And
Mhm.
then from there he had to strap up and then got his own business going from the ground, going house to house doing his tutoring business until he was able to build it up enough to get them to where they're at today. My mom, she used to work 3 4 jobs at a time, and she also worked for the school system of New York for 20, 30, about 30 years, I believe, while also taking care of us while having another 2 or 3 businesses on the side, working whatever she needs to do. So I saw work ethic from both of my parents, and that I think instilled a great resource in me to also say, hey, I want to make sure that I am able to give that same effort that I saw growing up. And one thing about me is that I always joke around saying I'm actually really lazy, but I am very competitive. And with that being said, AI is able to let me to be quote unquote lazy by finding the easiest and most efficient way to get something done while also being way more productive at it at the same time. And for me, that's lovely where I can do 10 times as much as somebody else and only giving about half the effort. But then with that extra half of effort I still have in there, I'm going to do another 10 times with something else. So it's just multiplies and multiplying effect just really is what makes me so excited about AI because it allows you to do that.
Kev, I'm so happy. I thank you from the bottom of my heart coming in. Shout out to mom and dad. Much love and respect. Out of love and caution, they
Mhm.
stop. So, somebody listen to this. Somebody out of love and caution is telling you, not yet, don't do it. Please follow Kev's lead. Follow Kev everywhere you can find him online. Find his free game stuff. Trust and believe you will want more. Kev, thank you so much, my AI consultant brother. We call each other cousins in the group. Cousin, and we have the New York connection. Now you're in South Carolina. Yeah, we connected all across the board. That's where my
Yeah,
family
man.
originates from, and I'm in New York today. But Kev, the AI guy, audience, talk to me in the comments. Seeing how nice Kev is, should I let him rock with the AI guy name, or should I try to catch him and should I go AI one on one again? Should I battle for the title? No, I don't want the smoke. I'm gonna stay in my lane. I'm gonna do what I do. People, show some love in the comments. The Kev, the AI guy.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me. Man, keep doing this. I can't wait to be on here next time. Whenever you need me to come on, please reach out. I'm more than happy to be on this with you.
I don't have a choice. The audience is going to demand that I bring you back in other formats. Thank you, Kev. Big shout out, Kevin, the AI guy Smith. Shout out to my sponsor, B File Systems. Again, most importantly, hit that subscribe and notification button. You want to know. Wait, you got to know when this comes out. You got to be first. You have to share this with somebody. So until the next time we share time, stay blessed by the best. And remember, we make AI